if you recall, at that point in time, Mr. Modi was coming, everybody, some people were rooting for Shivraj Singh as well, that he has been the most successful chief
Yeah.
minister, and the rest of it. Or, even Advani, I think, in some places said that he has been more successful than Modi in Gujarat on certain counts. So that will happen later. As far as Congress is concerned, if I may take a minute, I think this time they are a lot of victim of overconfidence. Karnataka gave them a huge overconfidence. The hype they created, or they thought they created on Bharat Jodo, that didn't quite materialize. And what Yogendra finally, I think, half admitted, there's a disconnect between what Rahul Gandhi says and the rest of the part, not only the ground people, but also his regional leaders. Rahul Gandhi can abuse Adani, but Kamal Nath doesn't do that. Ashok Gehlot doesn't do that. Even
Yeah.
Bhupesh Baghel doesn't do that.
That was quite a perceptive point by Yogendra, that the issues that Rahul Gandhi is raising are not finding resonance on the ground with his workers or his chief ministers.
Chief ministers is the point. See, he made all this analogy of two secretaries being from OBC. Obviously, that doesn't, he thinks it's cutting through the audience. It's not cutting through to people that, to OBC, and therefore, so they played the OBC card, but right now they're saying that, BJP was able to capitalize. And the last thing is, they need to again revise. I found that they had again got very uppity in terms of insulting Modi, including the Panauti comment and all the things, some of their spokespersons go on tweeting about Modi, Vishwaguru, this, that. I think they need to revise that. They have to learn from what happened in 2019 to be taken seriously. They have to, come across the party with gravitas.
Sandeep, stay with us. Tavleen, good morning. And I can see Tavleen is here. Tavleen Singh, trenchant columnist, author, political analyst. Tavleen, I'll be with you in a moment. Kartikeya Batra, who is celebrating his birthday, wading through data. Happy birthday, Kartikeya, again. Take us through the overall situation. Let me give the political broad stroke, and you can do the micro numbers. Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath has lost. That's the bottom line. The BJP is winning Madhya Pradesh. The Congress has swept Telangana. The BJP is leading comfortably in Rajasthan, and the BJP is ahead in Chhattisgarh. This cannot be good news for the Congress, notwithstanding that dramatic win in Telangana. Kartikeya, before I get in, Tavleen and others, I want you to take us through the numbers, and we also have some comparisons now to make with 2018. It's over to you, Kartikeya.
Yeah, so let's start with Rajasthan, Barkha. And I'll tell you, in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, the funny thing is, the Congress will look at its vote shares and think that what did we do wrong? Because we are holding on to our vote shares, but our seats are just not there. That's primarily because the BJP has zoomed ahead of Congress. Not so much in Rajasthan, but in Chhattisgarh and MP. So look at the vote shares in 2018 and today. So BJP has gained in Rajasthan roughly 3%, right? The Congress is still there in the 39 to 40% ballpark. But it's the others quota that has gone down, as a result of which, if you look at the number of seats, the BJP is up from 73 to 113. The Congress, 99 to 70. I will still say they've gone down fighting. I think there, if you look at the strike rate in Rajasthan is much better than what you see in Madhya Pradesh. So the strike rate in Rajasthan, and I think this was that was gone, like done and dusted, but they seem to have made a fight out of this. So this was again to be lost, but they've lost it with some level of respect. At least they can lay claim to a Rajya Sabha seat or two, with some comfort.
Now Madhya
Pradesh. Look at it again, Barkha. Look at the interesting part. The Congress's vote share. You see, it's not moved, beyond 0.4%. They were 40.9, they're down to 40.5. That's it. That's the only drop that's happened. Look at the BJP from 41% to 48.5% at the expense of the BSP, the SP, the independents, the Chota parties. That is the big story. The Congress retaining its vote share, but the BJP bettering its vote share by a huge margin. 7 percentage points, not a joke. So look at where the BJP is. 136 leads as of now. and this keeps on fluctuating 135, 140. This is one election that we can call at this point, much like
Yeah.
Telangana.
Yeah.
2018, the BJP was 109. Can we get the slide back, please, Madhya Pradesh? Congress dips from 114 to 93. Again, the Congress would say, what did we do wrong? Well, you didn't do much wrong. Just the BJP bettered you by so much. That's the story of Madhya Pradesh. But the Congress's strike rate much lower than that.
So you're
in
saying the
Rajasthan.
Congress fought better in Rajasthan than in Madhya Pradesh?
I would say, given this baseline that they started from, definitely they ended up with a better result than they expected. Given the baseline they started from in Madhya Pradesh, I think they'll be very disappointed. But I think this is as much a Congress loss as it seems to be a BJP victory. Because it's not that the Congress has gone down so much, it's just the BJP has picked up a lot of vote share. Okay, let's and then at some point we'll also do some regional analysis of these results, Barkha. And I'll tell you that the BJP has performed well across areas, except in Mahakaushal, which is Kamal Nath's area, where the Congress has done well, which is expected. Chhattisgarh, again, the Congress is.
By the way, do you want to give the caveat that these numbers have been fluctuating all morning and it's a confusing picture? Yeah.
Chhattisgarh is still. We're not calling Chhattisgarh.
Before you move on, one small comment. Mahakaushal also, what I mentioned on the exit poll discussion day, BJP has been able to neutralize Congress to some extent. I had said very specifically there were side deals. And more interesting is the Chambal Bhin Morena belt, where people had said that BJP is wiped out. And there also
people had written off the Scindia belt, the Scindia dominated belt.
And one last little quip. I don't know, Congress will admit or not, if any of you traveled to Rajasthan, which I did quite a few times during this period, the billboards didn't have Rahul Gandhi anywhere. It was only Gehlot, only except in the last bit when Rahul Gandhi went to Jaipur and all, they put up a few boards. But throughout the campaign, it was only Gehlot campaign.
Yeah.
So he raised the Rajasthani pride angle, basically. He played on that sub-nationalism that has become very popular in fighting the BJP in different states. Chhattisgarh, Barkha, just to add, we are not calling it yet because it is still very close and these are very small margin seats. I would say that 49-39, some sources are giving it 44-45, but some are saying 50-38. BJP right now comfortably ahead, but this could change. But the vote share won't change violently now. So look at the vote shares. The Congress still retaining 42.4% of the 43 that they held. But look at the BJP. They have zoomed past the Congress, raising their vote share from 33 to 45.2. And it's all come at the expense of the independent smaller parties. Last time, the BJP fielded a lot of these candidates, hoping they would eat into the Congress's vote share, but the opposite happened. This time, all that vote has come back to the BJP, and that's why the BJP is gaining. The Congress's loss in Chhattisgarh, Barkha, primarily coming from the tribal belt, something that the exit polls had also, or the opinion polls had predicted, especially the one from Sea Voter. And finally, Telangana, if we could move on quickly. Telangana is the one state where the incumbent is losing votes and the challenger is gaining votes. So BRS has lost votes from 47 to 38, a drop of 9 percentage points. Look at the Congress. That's called a victory, a jump of 12.7 percentage points. The BJP almost doubling its vote share and others going from 18 to 7.7. So the Congress will be the happiest in Telangana, followed by the BJP actually, because they've almost doubled their vote share. But look at the BRS has declined 47 to 38%. That's how you cash in on anti-incumbency, by projecting a solid narrative, a leader.
And also it suits
in Madhya Pradesh.
Sorry, I'm cutting in, but it also suits the BJP politics to go head-to-head with the Congress. In fact, where the BJP, it's regional parties versus the BJP, where the BJP has a takkar ki ladai. Usually in direct fights, the BJP prefers that. So the BJP would be quite happy, I think, with the Congress taking Telangana compared to the BRS, but that's just an analytical point. Tavleen, I want to open this up. Here's what it looks like to me. I'm not a numbers expert like Kartikeya. Yeah, hang on. I'm not a numbers expert like Kartikeya, but here's what I see. I see the BJP not having declared a chief ministerial candidate in Madhya Pradesh, sidelining Vasundhara Raje in Rajasthan, Winning, I think it's safe to say, Madhya Pradesh very comfortably, poised to take Rajasthan, and possibly, we don't know, Chhattisgarh is up for grabs. This means that conventional punditry in understanding what works for the BJP is not working. We simply don't know when we analyze what the BJP does and doesn't do. Similarly, the Congress, there's now a kind of north-south divide. The Congress, with its win in Telangana, it will probably now fall back on a kind of southern bloc. But it's been ousted, if these numbers hold, from the Hindi heartland, from the north. One sec, Tavleen. One sec. Can we unmute Tavleen, please? Yeah, Tavleen.
Yeah. The Congress hasn't been around much in North India for a while. It started with the Mandal parties taking away their vote banks, right? The Muslims, and that started a long time ago. What worries me, because I'm not a numbers person either, so I can't tell you what the vote share means. But what I can see is that the BJP manages, even in a state like Madhya Pradesh, to reinvent itself with a new narrative at election time. Whereas with the Congress party, it's the same old faces and the same old narrative. I can remember that in 2014, in Banaras, I heard Rahul Gandhi going on about Adani and Ambani, and they're taking the money out of the pockets of the poor and putting it in the pocket. He's still saying that. The only thing that they've added on is a few more freebies, etc. But the Congress has to reinvent a leadership for a start. It just hasn't changed anything. Neither the faces nor the narrative. Why should you go back there? And, it's certainly in Chhattisgarh, there was all those, corruption scandals. In Rajasthan, there was law and order issues of that they had to deal with. So it isn't just that the BJP, it has changed or reinvents itself. It is that they come back with a new narrative and with very, very good election management.
Can I ask you also to talk a little? I'm going to Vinita in just a moment, but can I ask you to talk a little bit about the fact that the BJP has managed to do this without declaring chief ministerial candidates? And almost everybody thought that, this is the Congressification of the BJP. The Congress has localized its campaigns, but the BJP has sidelined a Shivraj or Vasundhara. What is the message that is emerging from these victories in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh? Possibly Chhattisgarh, we don't know.
Well, I actually think that what they're looking for is finding younger leaders to send them to the top. And I think that the Congress party should have done that a long time ago. You can't have Gehlot from the time of Sanjay Gandhi to now. And who's going to, you have Sachin Pilot who was kicked aside. You have, there's no respect for the fact that people are looking for new things. Also, I think that the BJP has done very well by making women into a separate category of voter. I think that, it started with Beti Bachao in 2014. And now, in Madhya Pradesh, one big factor was this, that, 6 months ago, women started getting 1,200 rupees in their bank accounts. So, all of that, there has been, the Congress party is still trying to promise things that are really old ideas, like the old pension scheme.
But briefly, while it is the BJP's day, especially if they take 3 out of 4 states, two they certainly seem to be poised to take. Are there concerns for the BJP as well? The BJP has improved its performance in Telangana, but it's clearly now, if you look at the south of India, the south of the Vindhyas, it's an entire non-BJP bloc.
Yeah, well, hasn't it always been that way? What did they have?
I know, but the BJP did not want to be a so-called cowbelt party, right? As the cliche used to go.
No, they are, they're not a cowbelt party anymore because they've got the West as well. But I think in the East and the South, they've been weak for a very long time. And somehow they haven't managed to, I think that, don't forget the Modi factor, okay? In North India, in Rajasthan, you would meet people who would speak against, even this time, against local BJP leaders, but never the prime minister. So somehow he's convinced North Indians, across the whole cow belt or whatever, that he really is a proper leader, and that he can, give them things that they didn't have before. And I think that the direct benefit, what is it called? When you put the money in the bank,
The
direct
direct cash
yeah,
benefit, the direct
DBT.
that
yeah.
that has made a big difference, because you see,
DBT. Yeah.
yeah,
DBT.
all the Congress party welfare schemes were leaking like sieves all these years. So, I mean, the minute that you had a huge program like, say, food grain, these are all Congress programs, or Manrega, but they leaked so much that people didn't really see the benefits of it. And I think the BJP has done very well with these programs.
Okay, let's
But
open
that
up
being said,
this.
I'll just add, last night when I traveling to my place of stay from the airport, the driver told me that for the first time, his wife has seen money being credited to the account. In the earlier period, they never saw this 3,000 rupees because of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana and all that. Barkha, I'll give you rights to one term which I use in business instead of Hindi heartland or cow belt. What I use is Hindi speaking market. That's
Okay,
where the
that's a
Hindi
better
speaking
phrase. That is indeed a better phrase.
that captures the, if you want to
Yes.
replace market, you can see electorate. It is the Hindi
That is
speaking
a
electorate.
that is a better phrase. We'll use that. Mahima ji, I know you have your hand up, but one comment from Vinita and then coming to you. Sorry, okay, Mahima, aap bole. Mahima, can we unmute Mahima ji,
Yeah,
please?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you. And while I was listening to Miss Singh, who's a veteran in her own right and an expert of her subject, I was very curious to ask her when she points out Rahul Gandhi. You see what Rahul Gandhi speaks and does not. I think when he calls out an Adani, or when he calls out the wrongdoings of the Modi government, versus when Mr. Modi says ऐसे बटन दबाओ, ऐसे बटन दबाओ कि आप बटन यहाँ दबाओ और फांसी वहां लग जाए. So Mr. Rahul Gandhi was urging the people in the same manner in Telangana, rather I would say more fiercely in Telangana, and it worked for us. Whereas Mr. Modi, also did the same things in Telangana. So, it is worth pondering that if the factor is Rahul Gandhi, he did not even go to
So why did
Rajasthan as much as he
why
went
did
to.
it
Yeah,
No,
why
so
did it then work in
I didn't
Telangana?
say the factor was Rahul Gandhi. What I said, that Rahul Gandhi's narrative hasn't changed. At
but that
that point,
narrative remained the same in Telangana.
no, but one
It
minute,
rather fierce.
excuse me.
Rahul Gandhi
In
was kept away
Telangana,
from
there was
Rajasthan.
huge
Wha- wha-
anti-incumbency. Don't
Rahul
forget that.
Gandhi was kept away from Rajasthan because of the Sachin pilot factor.
No, I think
Rahul,
I think what Mahima is asking, Tavleen, is that if Rahul Gandhi's narrative worked in Telangana and did not work in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, then is it the
Then
narrative
the
that's the
problem is
problem?
not the narrative. Then the problem is
Okay,
not the narrative.
let,
It is
let her
rather
respond.
the hateful. Just a moment. It is rather the hateful slurs by the prime minister. I think which seem to
But
woo
then,
the youngsters in the Hindi heartland,
but
probably.
then that question can be reversed to you. Why would those slurs not work in Telangana, right? ये तो उल्टा करके it can be reversed
No,
also, no,
but
Mahima, that
again,
question.
again, again, Mr. Modi did not go to Telangana as much as he went to Rajasthan, and we'll see Mizoram tomorrow, where
Okay,
he
okay,
actually withdrew
okay,
his
okay.
Can I
visit.
just
Okay,
answer? Can I just answer?
Tavleen and then Karthik. Yeah, Tavleen
Yeah.
and then Karthik. Yes.
You know something? I'm not saying that Rahul Gandhi is the problem. I'm saying that the narrative is the problem. Because do you remember that in the 2019 election, he said that Anil Ambani had put all this money in his pocket from Rafale, etc. Anil Ambani was broke. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a narrative he keeps on. And when you keep on about the rich versus poor and the low caste versus this guy, this is too old a narrative. People are now, they're very happy if you can do something for them. If they had concentrated more on unemployment, which is an issue, across
And
the country. But it doesn't seem to be that. The economic issues don't come up. It's all this, we will go for this caste and that caste. This is a very, very
So
old
Tavleen,
Congress
no,
so
no,
issue.
no,
Tavleen, before
just I'll 5 seconds more, Barkha. So, do you mean we should do for the people when they're gasping for the oxygen? We should play our political games like they played in Madhya Pradesh,
Come on,
or we should,
did I
do
say
those
that?
hateful slurs. what
don't
I
know what you're
heard
hearing.
when you
I
spoke
think you're not
earlier,
hearing what I'm
when
saying.
no,
Because
when you
I
spoke
didn't
earlier,
say
you
that.
said
I
just a
didn't say
moment,
that.
Miss Singh,
Excuse me.
with due
No,
respect, just a
excuse me,
moment.
madam. Can you
When
answer
you
what
spoke
I say?
earlier,
Don't invent your own little story and put it on me. I didn't talk about that. I am saying to you that that narrative of Modi being corrupt, which has been the anthem of the Congress election campaign since 2014, that hasn't worked. I'm not saying that when people were dying of oxygen,
Can I come
what
in
are
now?
you
Okay.
hearing and what are you
I also heard, I also heard you
Maima,
say
Maima, Maima,
that.
Maima, 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 1 minute. Hold this. Let me quote Yogendra Yadav, a supporter of your party, on this program moments ago saying Rahul Gandhi is raising Adani, but his own chief ministers don't want to raise that. Rahul Gandhi is raising caste census, but the cadres are not raising that. Vinita, I do want to bring you in unless Karthik, you have an urgent update, or can I take a comment from Vinita? Can I take a comment from Vinita and
No,
then come to you?
I want to pitch in on this debate, but I can speak
Okay.
after you've had. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
fine.
first Vinita and then you. Okay. Vinita, this north-south divide, how do you come in on this, right? The fact is, yes, Lok Sabha and states may be different, but the BJP has only done well in the Lok Sabha in one southern state, and that is Karnataka, right? In the last election. And we have to wait and see what happens. There is the north-south divide. How do you understand that? How do you explain it? I can't hear you, Vinita. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I said we don't want to label our party as a Hindi speaking party. It's a formidable force that's emerging across India, and I think Congress has to be graceful in its defeat and accept the failures which they have had in the past, and even now they continue to witness failures because the criticisms are hollow, and as has been validated by an objective. Expert like Tavleen Singh ji herself. So, definitely, I mean, beyond all the, the psephologists, the strategists, and the objective analyzers, it's all about, Congress has to learn a lesson or two in humility and development from the BJP, if not anything else. And I think I would want to close the comments at this. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, Vinita, we let you go. Asif Bhavla, national spokesperson of the BJP, is also with us. Vinita, I know you have to go, so I'm just saying thank you. Karthik, you wanted to jump into the debate. Do go ahead before I bring in Mr. Bhavla.
No, I
Also,
think
Karthik,
Barkha.
Karthik, before you comment on the debate, the Chhattisgarh numbers I was just looking at, I don't know if you had a chance to see, and I don't know if these are the updated figures, but the lead seems quite big for the BJP if these are the numbers that are
Yeah,
holding.
I think it's getting settled now, but again, I will not call it because it's just the nature of seats in Chhattisgarh, very keenly contested. So let's
Okay.
wait a little bit. It's not as clear as Rajasthan, MP, or Telangana for that matter, but it's only a matter of time. I think it's going to go in that direction. But what I was saying was that you know I don't have a problem in admitting that different political regions have different appetites for different kinds of leaders. So why I think it's absolutely fine to accept the fact that a particular kind of leader works in one part of the country and a particular kind of leader works in the other part of the country. So it's possible simply that Mr. Rahul Gandhi's style is better suited for politics in a certain part of the country. That's fine. And Mr. Modi's kind of politics is suited for that other part of the country. They all have different histories, different cultures, different linguistic backgrounds. So I think that's something that at least I am comfortable in accepting. The second part of Ms. Singh, I would just summarize it by saying the following. I think the Congress and for a large part the India Alliance also, what they are doing well, it seems, is talk about issues of social justice. But that's not sufficient. You have to pair social justice with an agenda that is based on aspirations and ambition of a young India. I think that's where the Congress and even the India Alliance is missing a trick or two. So talking about redistribution is good, redistributing the pie is good, but you also have to come up with ideas to enlarge the pie, and which is where I think the Congress and the larger opposition alliance is missing a trick. Look at Mr. Modi. He may not follow up, right? But look at his he can talk of AI one day, deep fake the other day, climate change on the third day, manufacturing on the fourth day. It doesn't matter whether he follows up or not, but it just shows you that he speaks the language of the day. I think that's where the opposition missing a big trick.
Okay, we've got Asif Bhamla, oops, Mr. Bhamla of the BJP joining us. But let me go back to Tavleen. Tavleen, state elections don't always mean something for national politics. The Congress actually won these 3 states that it looks like it's going to lose this time in 2018 and then got wiped out in the Lok Sabha. But intriguingly, this time the Congress really believed that it had recovered its fighting spirit and that it was going to take at least 2 out of the 4 states. What do you think this is once again going to do about the pivotal sort of position that the Congress was seeking to occupy in the anti-BJP bloc, in the opposition bloc? Do you think that diminishes now? Do you think it's all up for grabs? Or do you think that the regional parties now will be nervous and there'll be a new push for all of them to band together? Tavleen.
I would love to be a fly on the wall of Akhilesh Yadav's house today, because you see,
right.
the Congress has been very arrogant in the India alliance. It's been, it hasn't conceded any room to the others where it thought it was strong. So now you're going to really have, I think, a reconvening of ideas, etc., in that alliance. And to tell you the truth, I actually want the opposition to get its act together. I mean, we can't have election after election in which, it's a complete wipeout. So they need to get their act together. But I think that the Congress has certainly been damaged by these results, and they will have to re-examine their position on all this. Don't forget that they've been projecting Rahul Gandhi as the main opponent to Narendra Modi. Right? Now, to do that, you've got to win. You should have won. If they'd won 2 of these states, the big ones, then they could do that. But they've already been doing that. And, it isn't working.
Yeah. Let's bring in, before I go to Mr. Bhamla, Karthik on the overview of the numbers. Karthik, I think, did I lose Karthik there? I don't see Karthik. So if you've just actually joined us, let me take you through the numbers. The BJP is clearly ahead in Rajasthan in 114 seats to the Congress in 68. The others remain sizable, but the gap is, if this gap stays, the others will actually be not relevant. Karthik is back. I was doing the Rajasthan numbers. You can take us through the other 3 states. Go ahead, Karthik.
So Rajasthan, as you rightly said, Barkha, it's okay. Telangana is the only beacon of happiness for the Congress today. Congress 66, BRS 37, BJP. By the way, BJP had 1 seat in the last assembly in Telangana. They're up to 8. That's not trivial. So the vote share has doubled. The number of seats has gone from 1 to 8. Congress 66, BRS 37. And let's look at the next state, which is Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is a sweep for the BJP, basically, Barkha. If you look at the map of Madhya Pradesh, if you look at the ECI map, we 158 to the BJP, Congress 69, 3 others. And again, for the Congress, the saving grace has been the Mahakaushal area. The BJP has swept through Malwa, Nimar. The BJP has swept through the Bhopal region. They've done really well in the Gwalior Chambal belt. Baghelkhand, Vind region, which was supposed to be giving the Congress a new lease of life this time, has also largely gone towards the BJP. And then we can also talk about Chhattisgarh quickly. Chhattisgarh, Barkha, will be the biggest disappointment if I were to say that, if Congress loses. I'm not sure which of the 2 will be the bigger bitter pill to swallow. Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh was a pro-incumbent state with a very popular chief minister, but the Congress somehow was not able to match the BJP. And can we move to Chhattisgarh quickly? Chhattisgarh, BJP current leads is 52, Congress 36. And this, I think, is all exit polls said this would be very close. And my guess is this will still fluctuate, but it seems to be heading the BJP's way. If these 3 things hold, then whichever way you may want to address it, the Hindi-speaking market or the Hindi polity or the Hindi heartland, the Congress seems to be wiped out in all 3 states. I think that I think can in no way be compensated by the victory in Telangana.
Yeah. Let me get...
Telangana was supposed to be the icing on the cake, but they're just left with the icing. The cake is gone.
Are we calling this? We're calling all states except Chhattisgarh right now, or are we waiting for Rajasthan?
Yeah, no, Chhattisgarh, I think, except Chhattisgarh, we can call all 3, because Rajasthan, Barkha, it's about the BJP's margin because 113 is what we are getting from our source. And that's roughly been the case with the BJP between 100 and 115. They've been in that range. But I will again I will underscore this again. The Congress fought at the end, ended up fighting a better election in Rajasthan than in Madhya Pradesh, just going by the results.
So I want to bring in Asif Bhamla, national spokesperson of the BJP, on that. Mr. Bhamla, on our program last week, you had predicted this, and look at that. That's a great image of Shivraj, Chauhan, Jyotiraditya Scindia, and other BJP leaders watching the counting coming in. According to Kartikeya, Mr. Scindia has vindicated himself. The area that he dominates, the BJP has in fact done well. Kamal Nath and Kartikeya, who's taking us through our numbers, makes the point that Ashok Gehlot has run a better campaign in terms of strike rate in Rajasthan than Kamal Nath has in Madhya Pradesh. One of our analysts said that Kamal Nath is the biggest sort of loser, as it were, of this campaign. Asif Bhamla, your thoughts, but there's also a north-south divide, a dramatic win for the Congress in Telangana.
You see, you're right. As far as Mr. Gehlot is concerned, he has fared better off but compared to what Kamal Nath lived in his arrogance always. We saw the language that he used for a 5-year, completed chief minister like Akhilesh Yadav. I mean, of course, who was part of the India Alliance and so on, and all the jazz that happened. So the way that the language that he spread, Akhilesh kya hai? तो उनको जीत और कामयाबी सर ऑलरेडी चढ़ चुकी थी पहले ही. एंड मुझे लगता है उसी के फलस्वरूप हम देख रहे हैं ये जो